What's different, I think, is that with Kim and Sheree no longer on the show, it felt less divided to you, and so you still, in your mind, had this thing where if you go up to Phaedra, you're not your friend.
No. Well, I didn't feel that way.
To me, even now, it's like, yeah, me and Phaedra definitely have a connection, but I don't feel like I act shady because you guys have a, oh, whatever, you can say what you want. I'm still nice to you, and, you know, but I definitely would have to say that I don't feel like I say, oh, just because you cool with her, then you're not cool with me.
Right, right.
Well, I don't say that either. Now, I don't know what it looks like to you.
Phaedra, you know, do you feel like you got a fair chance?
No, but...
I feel like I gave Phaedra a fair chance. I think what Phaedra and I went wrong was, some people are a little bit more sensitive than others. And I think it was Phaedra's first season on the show, and I think when she watched me in my interviews saying, whatever the hell I was saying, I think Phaedra was offended, or shocked, because first season can be shocking. I felt like what really happened in me and Greg's relationship, we had issues when I began this show.
Yes.
And then as I got bigger and bigger, our issues became even bigger.
Okay.
And then as Greg and I started to tear apart, these girls were telling a bunch of lies. One of the things they would say in the beginning were, Nene, likes Peter or was flirting with Peter, and Nene used to date Charles Grant, and she dated Charles.
Who's they? Like,
these girls.
No, I know. Anyone specific? I mean...
Well, I think Phaedra had a part in it. I never heard Candy say anything verbally, but she was always with them when they were saying things. Those things could never tear me and Greg apart. But those were some of the negative things that they did say.
But at no point in time was I, like, on some campaign to destroy your marriage.
I don't know about a campaign, but I do know about this. I do know that you seeked out to bring Marlo on this show. You met with Marlo outside of these cameras and talked to her. And I do know you wanted Marlo to be in this situation because you thought that Marlo and I would have an issue about Charles.
Was part of the thing that attracted you to Marlo the idea that she was with this guy who it was rumored that Nene had had a thing with?
Well, I didn't know that really until after Marlo had been accepted.
I don't believe that. I believe that Phaedra pursued Marlo and wanted Marlo to be on the show. And then when her and Marlo's relationship changed, then Marlo was a criminal and a thief, and she was from the dumps, she was from everywhere. But in the beginning, she was from the upper echelon.
We don't have to go there because Marlo's no longer on the show, so that's not even an issue.
But we're not talking about Marlo. We're talking about what you said and what you did. You and Kim, you weren't doing it by yourself. You had Sheree with her big nose and, all the rest of them doing the bullshit that they were doing. And then Cynthia sat right here, and we all listened to you guys say, Nene is flirting with Peter, and you know damn well I don't want Peter.
Well, I didn't say you was flirting with Peter.
Okay, and but so you even yourself would joke and make little jokes about, oh, Peter's my boyfriend or whatever.
I never said Peter was my boyfriend.
Even when
it seemed to me from watching the show, it seemed like you had a playful, above-board flirtation. Not like you're after her man.
No, I don't flirt, A.
But
that's not even my personality.
Okay.
That's one. And then two, Cynthia and I were friends. And for people to say that, that was even bothering Cynthia. So I didn't think it was cool for these girls to say things like that.
It came off to me like you had a playful relationship with him.
It didn't come off to us like that. Did it come off to you like Kenya and Apollo were playing? You thought they were being flirtatious, and that's why you had a conversation with Apollo, and that's why you said what you said to her. It's not a fun thing. It wasn't fun for Cynthia.
Okay.
I think Phaedra is the queen of low down and dirty.
That.
Well, no one's talking to you,
yeah, well, I'm
talking
now. Yes, I'm talking now, and I'm saying that you
are
could you zip it because, dirty. No,
well, honey, you don't know me from Adam's House Cat. You're just an obsessed fan.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the shadiest of them all?
We got a lot of emails about that makeout session at the party. Were you overcompensating?
Not exactly. My husband really likes to kiss like that, and so it's a little public display of affection.
I have to ask, is one of the perils of having a donkey booty that you occasionally butt dial people?
It might be one of the perils of having 3 phones.
Oh, okay. And a donkey booty.
And
throw that in the equation, and you're almost a goner. Mimi posted on BravoTV.com and said, Phaedra, I was really disappointed in you when you lied to Cynthia to her face. Why didn't you just own up to your mistake?
Well, to be very honest, I was becoming very frustrated because if I'm having a party for my son, 2 years old, it's not about any of these ladies coming. It's about my son. And so if you want to come to my party to see any of them, really, you're pissing me off because it's not about anybody up here. It's about my son and my family. So when someone was saying, like, she's not going out of town, she's lying to you, she just doesn't want to come to your party, and I was like, well, really, I don't give a hoot. He's still going to have his party. If no one shows up but me and his dad, and it's me, he's fine. At the end of the day, I really wasn't cognizantly saying, oh, I don't like Cynthia. It had nothing to do with Cynthia.
Cynthia, Marcia from Philly wants to know why you accepted her apology so readily.
Because, you know, my feelings were a little hurt. I wasn't devastated. But my feelings were just a little hurt because, you know, everybody doesn't really support each other's events.
Right.
So I feel like, you know, if nothing else, can y'all just give me that? I mean,
Right.
I always do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it just was, you know, fun to, you know, I love you, Phaedra, but it was kind of fun since I had a little evidence to just go ahead and nail you to the cross.
But, you know, Phaedra, you do always say, you know, I don't curse, I'm a Southern belle, and then to be recorded saying, I don't give an F. What was your reaction to that?
I mean, come on. Everyone up here knows curse words. So it's not like I run around like a sailor, like Kim, cursing every other word. I do have a very broad vocabulary. I consider myself a wordsmith, to be exact. Okay. However, what I'm saying is that's not something that I'm saying all the time. But if someone pushes me and pushes me and pushes me, like you saw in Anguilla with the lovely Miss Kenya, I will use choice words.
Did you make Beyonce relevant?
I did.
You did?
Me and Walter and this lady, Miss Portia. Because that's all she can talk about is you can't even get an interview unless you talk about me.
Girl, please.
Read the articles.
Get yourself
Your name won't
together.
even touch my lips.